Hi, and welcome back to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. I'm Coulter Hickok.
I'm Mackenzie Groves.
And today we have a very special guest, so please introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what do you do here at DSU.
All right, I'm Julianne Skaff. I am a fifth year. I am a voice performance major with a theater minor. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, but I did graduate up here in South Hart, North Dakota, so I'm familiar with the weather.
Go Cougars.
Yeah, Hart River. It's my team.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what's going on in the music department right now.
Honestly, that's a good question. It's been a crazy time figuring out how to play instruments and sing during a world pandemic. The choirs have to wear these like singer's masks, and if you look them up, they kind of look like duck bills. Oh. So not very flattering and not the best. We've had to sing in the auditorium rather than our choir room so we can practice safe social distancing, which has been very nice. The band has certain masks that have slits right here so they can just put their mouthpieces like right in their mouth and like everyone is safe. We've been only singing and playing instruments for about 30 minutes as we're told to, giving each other breaks, always social distancing. We had a really great concert for homecoming. I feel like it went really well considering we are in a world pandemic and like we were practicing with masks on and we didn't get to practice with like masks off until like the night of the concert. And so I feel like everyone in our department has been handling it incredibly well, including our professors and even the theater department. Like it's just been, a lot of things are being thrown at us and we've just been handling it quite nicely.
I noticed you guys are practicing outside a lot for band.
Yeah.
How is that going to look going into the winter months where?
I'm not in any of the bands this year, but I do hear them outside my window when I'm trying to take my afternoon naps.
Does it help put you to sleep, or is it like, we're going to play some pet band now, and we're going to get you hyped up before you take a nap?
Yeah, I get kind of hyped up. I'm like, oh, I love this song. Well, I guess I'm not going to sleep. I think what Dr. Holder, our band director, was talking about was they'll just either go up into the auditorium and space out, but I think he was just trying to give them opportunity to be outside and not indoors all the time because we do play outside anyway for the games. He might still have them play outside in the winter because we're going to have to do that anyway on Saturday and like the last homecoming game, well, home game, I guess. I don't know. I wish them the best of luck, though. I'm just glad I don't have to do it.
You just get to stand in the student section.
Pretty much. Just cheer.
And cheer from a distance?
Exactly.
Social distance.
Well, I usually sit right next to the band, and I'm just bopping with them. I'm like, oh, yeah. Nice job, guys.
So, I mean, you talk about pet band. So, I've noticed quite a few emails, like, in the past years, but how do you guys recruit for band? I mean, when you were in band.
Well, it depended a lot on what was happening. So we usually have a music tour at like end of March, April-ish, and we would go to other schools in South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, I think once Wyoming. And that's when all of the ensembles would go, both the choirs and both the bands. I know Dr. Wallitz, he personally tries to go to the high schools here that are closer to Dickinson and like help out with their woodwinds and like try to recruit them personally like that. We would have Woodwind Day here on campus and Brass Day and invite high schoolers to come and then to experience under direction of our directors here / Northern Plains Music Festival, which is always during the weekend of like Veterans Day, that second weekend of November. A bunch of high schoolers come up here and they get to experience like what honors bands are. And that's also when we have like ample opportunity to be like, oh, by the way, like you're already here. Dickinson's really cool. It depends though, because there was a few years, like one year we had to cancel because the weather was really bad, so we didn't really get to recruit as much as we'd like. But I feel like it's mainly the days we get to invite the high schoolers and other like schools around this area to come to our school to experience the real DSU experience.
So, over the last years, I've noticed quite a big change in the music department, so meaning band and choir, but you actually experienced it. Can you talk about the different evolution of the band or music department?
For sure. When I first started here at Dickinson, I was the only trumpet player in our band, and there was 15 of us in a band, or 14. It really wasn't that much, and there was a lot of pressure on me, I know for sure, and I know the other students that were also by themselves as an instrument felt a lot of pressure because we literally had to carry our own section and there was no one else to help us out and nowhere to hide. Like if you messed up, it was very obvious you messed up. And same in the choirs, it was kind of, You had to know your music. You had to know what you were doing because it's very small and it was hard to recruit people because we're a very sports-heavy school, a sports-heavy state in general. And so it's been really amazing over the years to see so many different people from different majors join. Like we have football players, we'd have cheerleaders, we have business majors, people who don't even really know what music is, but they just like singing. They just come and play. And it's been amazing to see it grow. And like while it can change every now and then because of how many students enroll in Dickinson, but it's been great to have like consistent directors and directors who really care about us, and like that shows, and that's why the students want to stay.
I like that answer.
Yeah, that was
That was a
good.
good answer.
Practice.
So, have you ever seen Hawk Talk before?
No.
Okay, so
My
here
bad.
we have to we have some serious questions and we have some fun questions. So
Okay.
I kind of want to ask you a little bit of a fun question.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the best musical movie of all time? Now that could be open to interpretation. So like a play that was on Broadway that's now a movie, or just a movie that's got a lot of music in it. That's up to you. I just want to hear your answer.
I had to look this up because I was like, I love so many of them. I really love all of the Rocky Horror movies. Like I feel like they all have really cool twists on them. And I love Little Shop of Horrors, the one with Steve Martin. He's hilarious.
As the dentist.
Yes, because we actually did that show once here at Dickinson, and so I was like, oh, Steve Martin, big fan, love you.
Was he there?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
My dreams did not come true that day. One day. But I think maybe Grease. I love Olivia Newton-John, and I just love that movie. I mean, Grease 2 was terrible. We don't talk about that movie, but
I kind of like Grease too.
all right, well, I just love Grease. Like the music is so good, and I love Rizzo. Like a lot of her story like resonates with a lot of girls our age versus like the main character. And I've sang like a lot of her songs. I just love that movie. It's so much fun and it's so cute. And I love like the time it's set in and like the hair. It's hilarious. I think it's the best.
What about you, Kinsey?
Perfect.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, Coulter and I talked about, I was like, what if she says High School Musical?
Okay, also though, it's a good movie.
I mean, is that like pretty true? Is that what like band in like you even talked about it? You got a lot of football players and you got a lot of different organizations coming together and playing band. Is that kind of ring
Yeah,
true
is
to
this
you?
what DSU is going to look like in the near future?
I wish. I have high hopes.
Just stick to the status quo.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know. I do love Grease, though. It's a good one.
High School
Kinda
Musical
think-
fan.
Are you?
Yeah, my sister.
What's your favorite one?
The second one.
Second?
Oh.
Okay.
What time is it? Summer
Before I
time.
came here, I did actually listen to the High School Musical 2 soundtrack.
Did you?
Yeah,
I love that for you.
Iconic, truly.
it is.
Yes. Okay, so we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but tell me again, how many instruments do you play?
11.
Okay, that's a lot. But if there was, like, do you have any, like, instruments that you'd love to learn how to play to add on top of those 11? Or, like, what's
Yes.
your one dream instrument that you'd love to learn?
The drum kit. Like, that is incredibly difficult. That is a lot of multitasking. And every time I watch, like, my friends Morgan and Presley play drums, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, I'm just going to stick to my trumpet here. And they're, like, it's, keeping a steady beat with the bass drum with their foot and then, like, doing all these crazy rhythms with their hands. And, like, that's a lot. And, like, that's also what pianists do. And I wish I could play drums, but my brain doesn't work that way.
Not to brag, but I used to be a pretty good percussionist in my day.
I think we're going to have to play from you sometime, buddy.
I might have to.
Come to the band room.
So kind of switching gears a little bit. I didn't know where I was going with that. Switching gears a little bit. So what play are you guys doing this year?
So the show this year, which starts tomorrow night, I'm very excited, is called Almost Maine by John Cariani. And each scene is set in this small town called Almost in Maine. And they kind of explain in the first scene that all these people were, like, they kind of almost made a city, but they were just like, ugh, whatever. So it's just almost. And a good way I think the other people describe this play is each scene is everyone's almost getting what they want. So each scene is different. It's different characters. You meet different people in their story. And it's all set at 8:50 p.m. to 9 p.m. at night. So everything's happening at once in this small town, and it's honestly, some of it's really sweet and cute, and then some of it's hilarious. I personally think my last scene is hilarious. I'm very excited for everyone to see it. It's
No spoilers.
chef's kiss.
No spoilers.
Nope, no spoilers.
Here on Hawk Talk, we can confirm no spoilers.
I think it was definitely a struggle though with this because we had to wear masks all the time, and now because we're in Orange, we were planning on not having masks for the actual show, and then now we have to wear masks, but they're like clear, like right here, and they just like suction cup to our face. It's really hot. We're all kind of dying. And we only had 2 males audition. Cole Beck and Chad Lilly, they're both doing amazing because they're playing all of the male parts in this show. So like they're like in every other scene, literally. They're tag teaming it. They're doing great. But this show is very cute and very sweet, and I think it's family friendly. It's hilarious. It will resonate with a lot of people.
Awesome. How do you decide as a theater department what production you're going to put on?
It depends on who we have, and so that was the biggest struggle with this, is that we knew we wouldn't have a lot of males, and so if we wanted to do a different type of show, it'd be like, well, could we make that male a female, or would that ruin the story, stuff like that. And so Jarvis Johnner, who's the director of the theater department, is incredibly amazing, and he talked to all of us, like single one of his theater classes. He was like, what are you guys interested in? What do we want to do this year? And he brought up ideas of like murder mysteries and the show Almost Maine and stuff like that. And he was like, just think about it. Think about what we can do as a small department, because we are small. We don't have a lot of options, but I think the show is perfect for our department. And so it just depends on like who we have and how many numbers we have and like what we can do. And sometimes we've invited the high school from DHS to come and perform with us a few times if we have a bigger cast, and they're also quite amazing at that.
Awesome.
I mean, you talk about you only had 2 males audition. If my schedule were to open up and Hairspray was available, I'd be great as the mom from Hairspray. That's all I have to say. I'm just going to toss my 2 cents out there, but I can sing every song from that musical.
Unfortunately, we're not doing a musical this year because of COVID. We're doing a musical cabaret and scene showcase. So, for example, I'll be singing like the song "The Wizard and I" from Wicked, and then someone else will come on and sing a song from a musical they like, or some other people will come on and do a scene from a play they like. It's really short, but when COVID goes, I'll tell Jarvis for sure that you're trying to do Hairspray, and he'll go, word. He'll be like, for sure.
Perfect. So you said you're a 5-year senior here at DSU, but I want to ask you, is there a specific role or a specific production that has stuck out with you the most as like your favorite?
I want to say it was my first musical, sophomore year. It was The Great American Trailer Park. Now, I played a stripper, so that wasn't that's not the reason why it was exactly my favorite, because stripping on stage wasn't exactly the most fun thing. Like I told every male in my life, like my professors and my dad, I was like, you can't look at this scene, I need you to look down, because if I know if you saw it, I'll be mortified and I can't come to class. But it was because it was my first musical and like my first time doing what I knew I've always wanted to do. And I just had such a great time, and I got to work with my friends and one of the most amazing directors. It was Sarah Ramsey's senior project, and she did amazing. I just learning the dances and the songs and just, singing up on stage, that's what I've always wanted to do, and I'll always hold that memory in my heart. And what's really cool is that whenever a theater major or minor graduates, they can take a token up from the prop shop from something that a show, if it's okay with Jarvis, if we can take it, and I get to take one of the dresses that I wore in that play, that musical, and I'm so excited about that. I already pulled it out. I was like, I'm gonna hide it just in case, and put it somewhere in the prop shot so no one can find it.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is a challenge question, kind of.
Okay.
So, just to give a little summary of your play, we want you to describe it in 10 words or less.
And remember, you looked at these questions beforehand, so
You're right, but I feel like I kind of said it earlier. I shouldn't have said what I said with the play. Again, it's people in this small town of Almost Maine who are almost getting what they want.
That was 10. I counted.
Perfect.
I probably just made that up, but
I'm
People
gonna roll
people
with
could see
it.
my
Sounds good.
hands and they'd be like, oh,
I'm
yeah,
rolling.
that's
I'm rolling
good.
with it. You're like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. Who knows those?
All right, so since this is your first time on Hawk Talk, so we ask everybody who comes on, but I want to ask you, what does DSU mean to you?
DSU means home. I definitely have put this on like a lot of scholarship applications and stuff like that throughout the years about what DSU means to me, and it's always DSU means home. I went through like a really hard time personally for like 2 years in a row, and the professors here were just absolutely 100% on my side and there for me. My friends here, like you were there for me. Like I have Matt and Morgan and Presley and like the whole music and theater department. And I feel safe here. I feel like comfortable here. I love being around the people here because I know everyone, and it's nice to know that this school is on my side and wants me to succeed. They don't want me to fail. They want me to be the best version of myself, and that's a family, and I absolutely love that here.
Wow, I mean,
I always love these answers.
so do I, but
That was good.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And saying all your nice words about everybody and everything. So as a token of our appreciation, we want to give you this nice shirt that says I Flew on Hawk Talk, sponsored by the DSU Heritage Foundation. So Julianne, I just want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I had a great time.
It was a great time, great answers, good fun.
I hope you guys come see the show, get your tickets.
Yes,
Yes.
when is it going on?
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And there's limited seating because of COVID. So
Okay.
I suggest getting your tickets in Stickney, room 221 through Andrea, the Arts and Letters department. Because if you come to the door and we're all like booked up, then you can't come. So I suggest getting your
So
tickets.
buy your
anytime.
tickets
Yeah.
now. Again, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with another guest right after this.
Here come your Bulldogs. Steps into the throw, in the wind, down to the goal line, and caught! Touchdown, Blue Hawks!
And welcome back. As you can see, we have a brand new guest. I mean, he's been on before, but why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, what do you do here at DSU?
I'm Ty Orton. I work at the DSU Heritage Foundation.
What are you at the Heritage Foundation?
I get to be the executive director there.
All right. It sounds like you got a real big boy job.
Sometimes, yeah,
Sometimes.
it would be a big boy job. Yeah, it's a great job. You get to help a lot of students. You get to help get those scholarships that are desperately needed, especially in these times. We just want to make sure that we do everything we can to help the students so that they're not in a pile of debt when they walk away.
So, as the executive director, you saw Julianne's interview. I mean, what did you think of that? Like, just hearing that.
You know, she said a comment, you know, about this is a sports state, this is a sports school. It's not. This is a well-rounded university. I've seen where universities are very sports oriented. Yes, we are. You hear a lot about it. Everybody wants to hear, well, the football team's 6-0. They're the only 6-0 team in the country.
I was going to bring that up later.
Yeah,
You know,
kind of cool.
So I mean, that is pretty good, you know. But there's so many more aspects to DSU, and that's what she brings in here. My boys are big into plays. My oldest son was the lead in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at the university several years ago, and they just think that the plays are phenomenal, you know. And I think one thing that happens when you go to a small university and you go to DSU, you may be an athlete, you may be a theater major, you may participate, but you're going to be well-rounded. It's not, I'm going to come here because I'm going to FSU, I'm going to go to there to be a football player, and then I'm going to be pro. No, that's not what happens when you go to small universities. I come here because I get to do something I love, but I'm also going to learn all these different things that I'm better at in my life, and I'm going to be so well-rounded, and it's just going to make me help me to get a job, help me to find a better life. There's so many aspects to small colleges, and especially DSU.
I agree with that. It's absolutely right.
And listening to her, I think her comments that she makes, it's, first of all, she said 11 instruments.
Yeah, I know.
I played the trumpet until he probably kicked me out. But it was a great interview, and just showing that there's so many more aspects, and we're really starting to push the theater scholarships, and because there's a lot of people that want to support students that are in theater, and they don't know how. We're really starting that campaign and getting people to give in those areas too, because that's an important area, and that's what makes a school a fine arts school. That's what we are. It's a well-rounded institution. So.
Interesting. So what else is going on at the foundation? I mean, this is kind of a busy time.
It's always a busy time.
That's true, you're
right. Coulter walks in the door and he causes problems every day. So, we got to clean
Once
up
out of
those
every
messes,
like 2 times, so about half the time I'm there.
It's the foundation is very active in the university. We do a lot of things in the community. We have a very good staff at the foundation, and we're very fortunate to hire, I think it's 8 or 10 work study students that work at the foundation, and they're starting to see that what the foundation does and how we work hand in hand with the university, and they get to know numerous people across the country that are DSU graduates. So I think that's a big part of what we're doing right now, is making sure that the work study are busy, which isn't a
I mean, so far every morning Hunter and I have shoveled the sidewalk, so I mean we're staying pretty busy. We'll talk about the busier stuff later on in the interview, because we're starting to get a little bit busy here with Yule time coming up. But
yeah, Yule time's a big thing. The other thing that we're looking at doing is our year-end campaign. We're going to potentially reach a huge milestone, which you guys can maybe announce on this show in December. We're going to be 5 years old on December 21st. That is when I took the job with the foundation, and I think it's gone in a lot of different ways. This year we're giving out $950,000 of scholarships to deserving students at DSU. That's big.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
And we're on track right now. We will be over $1 million, and that's where we want to stay at. We want to make sure that we're $1 million and growing from here on out. So it's with a lot of people and a lot of support and a lot of alumni and friends and community members, making sure that this university is as strong as possible and caring about our students. It's a really neat thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So along with talking about how Yule time and your different fundraising aspects, there is a global pandemic going on still. So with COVID, Coulter and I were talking last night about how things like there haven't been tailgates and things like that really get the community involved early on in the year. And now with things like Yule time, and we have to social distance, and with Stark County being in the orange, how's that kind of like affecting how things are playing out at the Heritage Foundation?
It's a lot slower in those aspects, and that tailgating was a big part of what we do. It's a lot of fundraising. It's a lot of just getting to know people, getting to see people. Football is a big part of everything that we do in the fall, and kind of leads up to different events. But everything's a little bit slower right now. We want to make sure that we're very cautious in what we do. We want to make sure that we're not putting students at risk. We're not putting our donors and our alumni at risk by having a large event. Yule time is heading down that path. We're not going to have a major event like we have been. And Yule time has been unbelievable the last several years. But we can't do that. That's the changes you have to make. So we're going to really slow down, and we're going to make sure that we're evaluating what the foundation is doing. We're evaluating everything and how efficient we are. I mean, 5 years old, we're not a startup anymore, and we're a foundation that has made a definite impact on students and within the community. So we're really taking the time that, since it is slower, to say, where can we improve? Where can we get better? Where are we missing the boat? How are we not thanking our donors enough? Which we never do. I mean, I can't say thank you enough to our donors. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then from the donors, they give $1. We have people that walk in and give us, here's $5. This is what I can give now. That's unbelievable to me. You have $5 and you chose to give it to one of our students. That's a phenomenal thing. It's not the amount of the gift, it's the meaning behind the gift. And when we get those meaningful gifts, that's truly impacts everybody at the foundation.
So I mean, you've been on Hawk Talk. You've seen Hawk Talk. I mean, I hope you've seen Hawk Talk.
I haven't.
Really?
Is that what we're on? No.
So you know we ask the fun questions around here. So I got to ask you, if you were to be the defender of Dickinson, if Ty Orton, superhero, had a superpower, what would the superpower be, and what would your superhero name be?
Do you know how many times we have this conversation at my house? I mean, this happens constant. Okay, so my wife is always going to be Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Okay, so therefore I'm the sidekick of Wonder Woman, I think is what it's going to be. That's going to be my superpower. But what would it, I really have no idea what it would be. I don't know. That's a tough one. It'd have to be, can I be Superman?
I mean, it's a trademark character, but I think we'll let it slide because you're the
I would
guy who
be a
kind of like puts up the money
Superman-like.
for their show.
Superman. Okay.
So I think we'll let it slide.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, you got to kind of combine everything. But you know that one, we could be, Batman's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Kenzie and I were talking about for our Halloween episode next week. We were talking about Batman and Robin, but I think we got something good in the works coming up for
Dumb
our
and
next-
Dumber.
That'd also be a good one too.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
I think I'm both dumb and dumber, so you will have to be the side character for you.
Yeah, you'd have
Yeah,
to be the
it's
side.
side
There you go. There you go. So since you're asking questions, I really do like your hair.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to know, well, do you do your hair like this all the time, or is it just specially for this show?
No, Ty, it's specifically for you.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. I mean, I do a different mixture of shampoos and conditioners in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But no, this is for you, Ty. I'm usually wearing a hat at the foundation, but I thought, you know what, we'll treat the mullet to a little R&R time.
It looks good. You
Thank
did
you.
a very good
Let
job.
it flow.
Not that your hair doesn't look nice.
Thank
It's just,
Our Halloween costume idea was also I'd go as Kenzie, she'd go as me. She put my hair in a ponytail. It looked disgusting.
It was bad. It was really bad.
So, I mean, I feel like I look better as myself and you look better as you, so I think we'll skip that idea in total.
Yeah, I can live with that.
So, how is Yuletime actually going to be different this year? I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, you and I have talked about it at the foundation, but for everybody who doesn't know, how is that going to work this year?
previously, over the last 4 years, Yuletime has been at the BAC. We've had individual suites where it would have 8 to 12 people within the suite, and they would go into their suites and they would have a meal served to them, and we would also have downstairs at the BAC. So we would utilize all locker rooms, and we would have, like last year, it was kind of it's funny you talk about Greece, because it was kind of a Greece theme last year, and well, it was Model High. So it was Greece. So downstairs was the carnival, and you go downstairs and you buy tickets and you go around and play different games and you do all that. It's really turned into a very interactive event, raising scholarship dollars for the university. And people have been really looking for it. It sells out very quickly. 250 people that go to this, because it's a unique event. This year we're pretty disappointed that we couldn't have it, but you know what? We still need to have Yuletime. So this year we're doing $100 tickets again, but the ticket goes toward scholarships. All areas, every department at the university will be represented in Yuletime, and that's how it is from the past, and now it is moving forward. We're going to make sure that if $1 is given, it gets split out to different departments to provide those new scholarships and continue to grow. But we're going to be they're going to be hosting at their homes. 8, 10 people at each house, where they would then have food delivered to their house, and very safe, not going outside of guidelines, making sure that we're protecting our donors once again. And then we cater a meal to their house. We do not serve the meal, but it's more of a family style, where the host would then provide that with their own place settings and everything. Our TR students will be delivering the food sometime in the afternoon.
It's definitely not me.
In some type of costume related to the event. Right now we have about 25 homes, and then everything is going to be virtual on it. President Easton will have a speech on there. We'll have several students speaking on there. Then we have a online auction, and The great thing about this is we're not limited to 250 people. And we already have people in Indianapolis, Phoenix, Minneapolis that are going to be hosting 10 to 12 people that are DSU alumni. And that's something to get people more engaged to DSU, to see a little bit about what DSU is. Not the same as the real thing, but you know what, this is where we're at right now. So let's make some lemonade.
Might as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. From everywhere.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, since we do have a new guest on, what do you think of Kenzie so far as a co-host of Hawk Talk? Because I know your opinions on me, but I want to hear your opinions on Kenzie.
That's true. No, I think we're really lucky to have you part of this.
Thanks.
You know, and it's one of those things where this is such a neat and special show. We can't thank Consolidated enough. I mean, they do so much for this university.
Absolutely.
They're phenomenal.
Yes.
In everything that they do, from our sports to this show, you know, but to have this student ran is a tremendous thing. It's going to be great for your future, even if you're not in this industry. It's going to help, you know, with everything that you go into.
Yeah.
But this has really continued. It has grown. You were fortunate enough to have Nate Easton, who is just a phenomenal person. You need to get Parker on here if he ever shows back up. But those guys were the ones that had the idea, and it really has morphed in. And then with Consolidated's help, it's really it's a staple. People watch it. People love it. So I'm really glad that you're part of it. So thank you for doing that.
Awesome. And I think that it's important to highlight the community again. And so, I don't know, I think it's very interesting that you guys are offering the online option and having people host at homes. So, I guess is there any other ways people can join? Like, are you sending out, like, how do they join the online auction, I guess? And
well, the one thing that we do is everything that we do is going towards scholarships.
yeah.
Okay, so with the online auction, we will be sending out mass emails. They can get on there if they don't want to do the $100 ticket. The $100 ticket goes into door prizes, and you get a chance to win jackets and different types of gag gifts and things like that will be mailed to them if they happen to win something. So they can be part of it like that. Everything that they can do is they'll see it online. So they'll be able to jump on. They don't want to be part of the event, but they want to be able to bid. So they can follow our email. They can call us at the Heritage Foundation. They can talk to myself or Pam and Alicia and ask those questions. But we're always looking for items for auction. With the bigger event, we would like to get to around 160 items to sell. We have several. We're going to try a virtual live auction.
I wonder who gets to set that up.
Yeah, Coulter gets to do all that. So when it messes up, I get to yell at him.
Exactly.
And then when he does a good job, I get to rub his head.
And take credit for it.
And take credit for it. Yes. No, that's something we're going to try that. We do have a big goal this year. We're trying to get to that $100,000 mark. You know, this is one of the bigger events that DSU has, but it's the only event where everybody is represented. Every department, athletics, everything is represented at this, and that's what these are for. We want to have one event where you can support the entire university, not 40 events where you support just different parts of the university. Even though those are important as well, we want to keep those going.
All right, to kind of close it off, I got a little bit of a two-parter question for you, Ty. As the executive director of the Heritage Foundation, I mean, what is your favorite part of the job?
Really watching what the scholarships are doing for students. Seeing how those are impacting, not just while they're here, because a lot of times students, when especially freshmen, oh, I got a scholarship, you got a very nice scholarship. And you don't understand what that means until later on. And then you start to see it as a junior and a senior, and they're like, wow, I understand the impact that this $1,000 scholarship, this $500 scholarship has on my future. And if a student receives a $1,000 scholarship for 4 to 5 years while they're in college at a medium level university, they have the ability to buy a house 4 to 5 years earlier than if they didn't get that scholarship. I mean, they could be buying a house at the age of 28 and be financially more secure because of that scholarship. They don't realize that till later on. Sometimes people don't ever realize it, but most of our students, because they're required to come in and write a handwritten thank you note, which people don't understand that, but they will. And that's where the donors are like, now these students are really seeing the impact of of the dollars that they're giving them. That's my most favorite. And then the other side is the dealing with the donors and getting to know them and watching their eyes light up when they see the impact that they have had in different areas at the university. We've built this thing from scratch, and it's come a long ways. And we have the board to thank, we have donors to thank, we just a lot of people have helped build this thing.
And my second question to ask you, is there a specific story of a scholarship that helped out a certain student that just sticks out in your mind?
Obviously, you didn't give me the questions beforehand, did you? There's a lot of those. You see several students that have left bad situations. Maybe one was leaving oil field, no education, and no money, and wanted to find a different path for her life, and applied for this and ended up receiving a very nice scholarship with certain criteria that just fit that person perfectly, and they received that for 4 straight years. And it was and just to see them walk across where they were with that limited amount of money and saying, I have nowhere to go, I'm going to go back to school and change the total direction of my life, and I want to do this with my life. And then 4 years later, because of that scholarship, that's where she finished. And that truly made a lot of people see the impact of those dollars. There's several like that. I mean, even when I was coaching, I saw those scholarship dollars impact those student athletes, where they were like, there's no way I could have come. There's a way. There's always a way to get something done, but how they would have done it would have been through loans. And now, they become a teacher and provide so much to so many students, but then they're paying their loans off for 20 years. That's a hard thing. Now they become a teacher with no loans, and the direction of their life completely changes. And it's a ripple effect. One donation impacts so many more people, and that's kind of that's what our scholarships are about. And that's why it's so important that these students fill out that thank you note. They might not realize it the first time, but when they come in again, they're like, wow, because you see that thank you note go from, hey, thank you, I appreciate it, to, wow, thank you. This is something that is totally changing my direction. This has helped my family. This is this. And now they're starting to understand what philanthropy does in this entire world. Long-winded. Good job. It's all right.
Well, Ty, thank you very much for coming on to this program that you've helped, kind of build.
Do I get a favorite musical? What's my favorite musical?
I mean,
I'll answer my own question. It's Aladdin.
Aladdin? That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I actually saw it on Broadway. It was actually pretty dang good.
Did you?
Oh, I bet.
It was pretty good.
It's good. Sorry, I interrupted you both.
No.
Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
I mean,
Thank you.
This is your second time on?
It might be my first.
First?
So I don't know if I've ever been on before.
That is not true, because we watched your interview with Seth, and I was sitting in the middle chair. So I know that this is your second time.
I was on with Nate and Parker, and yeah, I've been on.
Okay, it's your third time.
Maybe. For sure.
Been here
Well, we
before.
didn't bring you a shirt just because they're in the back room.
I know where they're at.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
All right.
I won't take one. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for all that you do at DSU, through DSU, the DSU Heritage Foundation. I mean, I wouldn't be here without the DSU Heritage Foundation, so I had to say thank you for doing that and hiring me as a student worker.
We didn't have anybody else.
Yeah, that is what kind of a last resort.
Plastic.
Just kidding. We're very honored to have you guys doing this. So thank you both.
Perfect. And Kenzie and I will be right back for the recap right after this. And welcome back for the recap. We're going to make this a little short recap just because we're running out of time. So here we have this nice plaque that the DSU Heritage Foundation, along with all of these nice boosters here, which are clearly written, they have put together this nice plaque just commemorating the new turf that was put down on the football field. So thank you to those boosters. You can bid on this at our Qtego site that will go live Thanksgiving for our Yuletime event. So if you really want a piece of history, buy this plaque. So, football. Football is the only 6-0 team in the nation that is football in like NFL, that is football in college. We're the only 6-0 team going into week 7. I mean, there are teams that are undefeated, but going into week 7, we are the only 6-0 team. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And that was commented on by Reddit College Football.
Yeah.
A verified account on Twitter.
Yeah.
They should follow the DSU Heritage Foundation at DSU Fond on Twitter. Also, Hawks won against Mayville 37-7. We had Jeremiah Payne was the North Star Special Teams Player of the Week. That means he had some good kicks, he had some good punts, but we need some more Hawk recognition in the North Star. There were 2 Valley guys on there. I don't think they all had good games, but Jeremiah Payne, Special Teams Player of the Week for the North Star. Hawks are up.
Hawks are up.
And then on Saturday, we're going to be playing against Waldorf. Here, games at 1 o'clock. You can watch that on Consolidated Channel 18.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for football.
All right, and cross country has their last conference meet before nationals. They are running at Mount Marty on the 24th.
And that's in South Dakota.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Yes. And those results will be up right after the meet, so on the DSU Blue Hawks page.
Check it out.
And then for volleyball.
Yeah, what happened to volleyball?
We played our last game on Saturday for the fall because our Valley City game got postponed to the spring now.
All right.
So we played our last game. Hawks won. We finished the season 3-2, so that's exciting, winning. And we hope to come back a lot stronger in the spring, and we're really excited.
And believe it or not, it's also basketball time.
Yes.
So the men, they start playing on Friday against Montana Tech. That game, I'm not really sure what time. You can find that on the DSU Blue Hawks site. But then the women's, they also play Montana Tech on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's good to see everybody back in Scott Gym. Not so much everybody. It's just going to be limited to family and students who can go to those games. So if you want to watch, you can watch on Consolidated Channel 18. I think that's pretty much it.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for more information, you can visit the DSU Blue Hawk site.
Yes.
3rd time's a charm. Got it.
3rd time's a charm.
Also, you can follow us on the DSU Heritage Foundation Twitter and Instagram. Our Twitter is at DSU Heritage Fond, and our Instagram is at DSU Foundation. I think that's pretty much it.
That's it.
And with that, Hawks are up.